welcome everybody to the Xbox International Airline. We are now getting ready for Flight 29. But before I introduce our flight crew, chat, how are you all doing today? Hope you are all doing awesome. So everyone, please be seated and fasten your seatbelts because as always we get wild, crazy, and sometimes sexy. Yeah. Introducing first the man who has literally fallen in love with that smoker, also keeps bullying everyone with that awesome meat he posts on Twitter and everywhere he can. I mean, seriously, he has posted it on Discord, Twitter. I mean, he even sent it through Google Earth. I mean, you can literally see it in Google Earth. No joke. He literally posted it on Google Earth. Also, the man, which is 8-year-old son, grabbed to play Multiverse for the very first time, kicked everyone's butt in that match. Seriously, the guys that were playing have been playing it for the whole week, and his son, in the first time playing, he literally destroyed them all. We have proof of that on Twitch. Our handsome captain, Mr. Silent Cypher, how are you doing, sir?
You know what, crazy?
Yes, sir.
I'm angry. I'm very angry.
Why are you
Because,
angry?
you know, I have someone that's trying to take away something that I thought was mine, and you know, I kept making deals, and now they're going to a different company, and I'm getting frustrated about it. It makes me sad.
What?
I think I'm gonna cry to people about it on the internet and maybe to government bodies. I am doing fantastic, sir. I'm glad to be here. Let's get into it today. I think it's gonna be a little saucy today.
Yes, it is. It's been a saucy pretty much week. I mean, damn, everybody got a lot of sauce in this week. I mean, let's just keep on rolling with it. Introducing now the man who is the biggest and literally the biggest, I mean, humongous cheater in the multiverse. He literally kept camping outside while we were beating each other up. And after our percentage was high, he jumped in and kicked us all out of the map. He kept on saying, hey, that is strategy. Yeah, yeah. Like I said before, still the world heavyweight champion of the world record he broke in Flight 26, which he literally broke again today before the show. Mr. Sour Blow, how are you doing? Also, you have a special announcement to make.
Yes, I do. Before the announcement, though, I'm glad to be here. As always, I love Wednesday. Wednesday is probably my favorite day of the week. And, I'm going to enjoy today's topics. Today, like you said, is going to be a little bit spicy. I even myself played around a little bit in Twitter with a post that got a lot of traction. And it, it fed the console war without me really wanting to, kind of like, I just did it for fun. But anyway, my special announcement is in Sour Blow 18 YouTube channel, which is my YouTube channel. You can go there. This Saturday, I will debut my Japan trailer. I got a trailer theme around Japan Game Pass games. So I would like you guys to please, support, check it out. It will be airing at 9 a.m. right before Living Split Screen. So right before you go to Living Split Screen, go support the video. The video is probably pretty short. I guess like 3 minutes or less. So go follow me, hit the notification bell, watch the video, and let me know if you like the video. Let me know any feedback or anything, or let me know any videos you want me to make trailers of, because I'm gonna start making more trailers. And then after that, of course, go to our brothers, Ponso and Steel Rain, and go support them. 10 a.m. Saturday, they're there with Living Split Screen. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. So that was my announcement. So let's
Pretty
start the
cool.
show.
Pretty cool stuff. Remember, jump into Sour Blow 18 YouTube channel so you can see his cool Japan trailer. Last but not least, the man known to be God Louis to his XBI panel members. So please chat hashtag God Louis. Thank you. Also, the man who still got his hands first off the Steam Deck and Sour Blow. Shout out to Vic the Click for that. The champion of the multiverse.
The guy
Mr.
that
Chris.
wait a minute. The guy that lost all the matches, I think, in Multiverse.
I am actually the champion of the multiverse.
Oh God.
Mr. Crazy Louie, how am I doing today? Well, I'm pretty fantastic. I mean, it's been a long week, pretty crazy week, but yeah. And also been a lot, like we said, it's been really rocking, really saucy, and man, it all started up on Monday. Wow, so much stuff to go through. Dang. But guys, before we go through all that, let me check in with our passengers and let me give you all a huge shout out. So let us begin with Eternal Shaddai. How are you doing, my brother from Puerto Rico? Happy to see you here, the fifth horseman. Hey, man, yeah, I get you. When you're sleepy, man, it gets you. But hey, man, I'm happy to see you here supporting us. It's pretty awesome. Familia Beat the Click. Me alegra verlo usted aquí, mi hermano. Oh, man, Vic the Click was here last week. And, man, we had a couple beers and had some fun. Hey, Vic, and thank you again for letting me borrow that Steam Deck. You are awesome, man. So, yeah. Now it's time for Sour Blow to talk about the flight itinerary, which he learned from his favorite fake Star Citizen game. Take it away, Sour.
All right. Well, to give you guys an idea of what we're going to cover today, we got the flight itinerary, of course. And today we're going to cover a few topics. We're going to cover the Activision earning report. We're going to cover some nice Gotham Knights. We're going to cover Halo Forge, which, you know, a lot of information has, you know, a lot of videos have been coming out, and pictures. And we also have another, unfortunately, event delayed. And we're going to cover our main topic, which is the road to 3 billion players, which we have a lot to cover there. It's going to be a very spicy topic and nothing. I'm going to send it to our captain because I am eager to start this show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Sour has turned on the subscribe button. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Please store your food and beverages next to your desk, under your seat, or in front of you. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt, and also make sure that you've hit that notification bell. We gently remind you that smoking and drinking are not prohibited on this flight. However, crying to governing bodies about other companies because the competition is bullying or buying Activision is strictly prohibited. If you have any questions about our flight today, please don't hesitate to ask one of our flight panelists. Woo. Thank you. Back to you, Crazy.
Man, I'm about to go hop in the shower. I mean, literally got hot in here, and I got the AC on, and it got really hot with all that sauce you just jumped in there, man. Woo! Real hot. Well, while we are in takeoff, let me ask you guys. Sour, what have you been playing, brother?
Well, I've been playing Multiverse, of course. And I've been playing a lot of games, like a little bit here, a little bit there. But recently, the game I bought again, I downloaded again, and I'm jumping in again. It's surprisingly Warcraft 3. I'm trying to Reforge right now for the first time, you know, because my favorite was the original. And Reforge had such bad reviews that I didn't bought it initially. And so far, it feels more of the same, you know, maybe a little bit more graphics here and there, but even like the cutscenes are the same, but which I'm fine with it because I love the game. So let's see, you know, as I move on more towards the game, let's see what happens. But yeah, that's mainly the two games I have played the most this week, but I've been jumping into a lot of games here and there.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, man. How about you, Silent? What have you been playing, brother?
I'm I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna been one of the. It's been one of those weeks, and it's gonna
Yeah.
continue to be one of those weeks where like I'm a little frazzled. I had to jump on my phone real quick and look on the Xbox app to see what I played last. um, I've been playing Control again. I've actually gone back
Oh
and I've
wow.
been diving into that new edition that they did for Series X and S and for PS5. So I've been going back through that. I've been trying to collect everything, trying to go through all the different stuff. I finished the Alan Wake experience again recently, which always near and dear to my heart. Like anything Alan Wake is always really cool. So that's the that's the main thing I've been playing, with the exception of getting a couple matches in with you guys on Multiversus this weekend before my son took the controller away from me.
Yep.
That's been about it. It's been a busy week. Hopefully things will clear up soon, and maybe we'll get some more video games in.
Yeah, me, I've been busy with Elden Ring. When I can, I've been busy advancing, and yeah, I just can't wait to beat it. Oh man, so one hectic, busy week for me. Father's Day was this weekend, and a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, play multiverse with you guys, which I am the multiverse champion. Oh man, I'm actually happy I was not there in that match when your son grabbed the controller and kicked everybody's butt.
You.
I mean, that was
What do
really
you mean?
fun.
You was there.
You were there.
You got your
No,
ass
no, no,
whooped.
no, no, no.
You're trying to alter history
No.
here, and we will
No,
not allow it.
no. I was watching that match. Remember, I was
No,
there watching.
no,
Yeah.
no, don't
Yeah.
don't try to save yours. No, no. You were there. Oh God.
Oh, guys, it's time to jump in for appetizer segment. Jump in appetizer segment. Is it segment? No,
No.
It's segment. Yeah.
We have this transition for that. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Appetizer. Okay, we already went to that. So it's time to go for the climb, and it's time for me to serve the appetizers, which consist of quick news, where we will have 2 minutes for each topic, which, if you get past the 2-minute mark, I will interrupt you. So yeah, it's time to shake the hat. It's time to shake the hat. It's time to shake the hat. Let me grab a piece of paper. Open it up real quick. Oh. Here we go. Activision Blizzard financial reports. All right. So, Activision Blizzard financial reports have shown a dip, like we have been seeing on many of the companies these past few weeks. We saw Microsoft, Sony's, even Nintendo's came out today with losses. So really quick, I'll jump on the King side of things because it was actually divided into segments. King segment revenue was pretty good. They did it pretty good with Candy Crush. It had an increase of a 6% year over year, so that's pretty awesome. And also in June they acquired Pelterion to accelerate the use of AI and machine learning technology in serving its community and even more engaging content, which is also helping the team of World of Warcraft out. So here's a general question for everybody. Do you think part of the drops of Activision Blizzard is because of the issues they are having in the company? Let's start with you really quick, Silent.
Repeat that question to me again real quick.
Oh.
Sorry, sir.
Do you think that part of the drops of Activision Blizzard is because of the issues they are having in the company?
I mean, it feels like this is widespread across like the industry,
Yeah.
right? So I don't think it's specifically just that. I'm sure that there's probably been, because of everything changing with everything in flux right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure that that's had something to do with it, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't imagine it's the main indicator or the main factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, everyone's down right now, right? So it's
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a rough time.
Yeah, it's been a rough time. How about you, Sarah? Do you think part of the drops of the Activision Blizzard is because of the issues they are having in the company?
No, no, I don't really think so because everyone is down, like Silent said.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that I think the main reason why everyone is down in gaming is because, with the pandemic, I think gaming had such a large jump, like such a huge jump because people,
Yeah.
were home bored and, everyone started playing that it was a little bit exaggerated, let's say. So now maybe there's still some growth. However, it's more like reasonable, not like when we had the pandemic. Everyone's doing their own stuff now.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more, man. I mean, seriously, I think it's like what you guys said. Everybody's been down. There's been a lot of stuff going on, a lot of changes, and definitely couldn't agree more with you guys on that. So let's start on the Activision side, and let me ask Silent Cipher this question. Call of Duty Vanguard did not do as well as the other ones. I remember a month later after its release, it had a big price drop. I think it was 30 or 40. Do you guys remember? Was it 30, 40?
Mhm.
I don't remember. It was like 30, 40 after a month
I,
its release.
I think it was sitting right around 30, maybe 35 generally.
Yeah,
Um,
something.
the other
something
thing
like
you
that.
got to keep in mind too, though, is you're running into time where you're hitting Black Friday sales at that point. So generally, those do drop down quite a bit. They're about a month after they launch.
Yeah, but
Um,
not.
but
But that
yeah,
was a. But that was a big drop, though. I mean, usually they drop like $10, something like
yeah,
that. But yeah, but that
it
was a big
stayed
drop.
at that for a lot longer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I could be wrong, but I have never seen that Call of Duty game just drop like that. Why do you think it happened? Do you think the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which comes out October 29th, will do better? Now go. You got 2 minutes.
Okay. Yes. Long and short, yes, very much so. I think just based on everything we've seen so far, it looks like there's a lot more put into this one. Like I know the guys on Vanguard did a good job for the most part, but it just didn't resonate with people as much. A lot of people bounced off of it faster than
Yeah.
previous times. I heard the multiplayer just didn't catch them as much. Um, but from what you can tell with this one, it looks like they're putting a lot into it. I feel like there for a few years we saw we saw the Call of Duty studios like really struggling to find their footing again. In releasing like quality launches every year. I know they ended up they canceled or pushed back at one point on one of them, uh, and then like Black Ops 4 didn't come out the way they planned. They ended up only having it multiplayer. So based on what I've seen so far, I think this one's going to be a big, big game. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing dominates the end of the year, especially now that everything's kind of cleared up and there's not a lot of other games coming.
Yeah. Could agree more with you, brother, right there. I mean, I think that Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is going to be pretty good. It's going to be, and people are waiting for it for a long time. So it's good that it's coming back, and I'm happy it is. It's a good Call of Duty game, and yeah, let's see how well it does. Now it's time to jump really fast on the Blizzard side. And this is a question for Sour Blow. Diablo Immortal did pretty well, even though it's got its complaints. I mean, I remember when Diablo Immortal came out, a lot of people were complaining. Was it for the microtransactions or something? I don't know. Something that was going on. They had an issue there. Also, Diablo 2 came out last year in September. It had connectivity issues and a couple of things going on there. Do you think that Diablo 4, when it releases, will do better after you saw the gameplay? And are you hyped for it?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, this Diablo 4 looks like it's more in the vein of Diablo 2, which it's Diablo 3. A lot of people didn't actually like that much, and we also have Diablo Immortal, which like you said, it didn't get good reviews. However, it's making a lot of money. A lot of people are playing the game. A lot of people are getting introduced to the game. To the franchise because it's a mobile game. And I think the fact that more people are being introduced to the franchise, that would actually bring more players to Diablo 4. And I think this could be their biggest game. And definitely, yeah. I think they don't have that much pressure. The fact that they're right now being purchased, and let's see how it comes out. But I definitely think this is gonna be probably one of their best Diablo, if not the best one.
I could agree with you there, right there, man. Seriously, Diablo or the gameplay was fantastic. On my side of things, it looks awesome. I can't wait to play. How about you, Brian? You a big Diablo fan or not? Any thoughts on this?
Yes, yeah. So I'm very much in the camp of more of like the Diablo 2 side of things personally. Three was okay, but I don't know. The progression just didn't hold me because I felt like if you played with anyone that was above you, all of a sudden everything shifted. You unlocked everything way too quick, and it just didn't feel like it was as engaging.
Okay, I have something to say real quick before you move to the next topic.
Go for it.
Okay, how come I just start talking and you put the clock right in my face right away in silent? You let him talk freely and you don't put any pressure on him. I mean, that's not fair.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
not fair.
it's right there, and it's been
Yeah,
taken.
yes, but
It's
as
been
soon as I
taken.
as soon as I start talking, you put it right on the camera, right in my face to put
So
pressure on me.
that's
That's not
so
fair.
so that's because I'm silent. Okay, the expectation is I'm going to be quick, precise, and then quiet very
Yeah.
fast after.
No, I'm
Yep,
not
yep.
taking that. No.
Oh man, let's jump into the next one. Since you're a big Warcraft fan, Sarablo, which we know, I mean, literally you talk about it a lot. They are releasing a lot of content, which today this came out of ah. How come I always do that? Seriously, I always got like a what's it called, trabalengua. That's what we call in Spanish. Which today this came out fresh from the oven. One Warcraft game was canceled due to financial dispute called Codename Neptune, which was 3 years in development that Blizzard and NetEase were working on. Besides that, Blizzard announced in May they are working on a new mobile game called Warcraft Arclight Rumble, which public testing is coming soon. On the PC side of things, The Wrath of the Lich King Classic launching September 26, 2022, and World of Warcraft Dragon Flight, which launches later on this year. Do you think with this new content, Warcraft fans will come back happy, or what they should change or do, Sourblue?
Well, first of all, I know that for the new expansion, they actually even contracted a new studio to help them. So it's a very ambitious expansion, it seems. And it seems it's only going to get bigger after that. So that's pretty good. And of course, after the purchase, we expect them to put more resources into it. Wrath of the Lich King is actually my favorite expansion, so that's great for the classic one. And I'm pretty hyped for World of Warcraft. I hope they bring it to console. I think that's gonna be huge, and I think once it comes to console, that's gonna give it a nice boost. Where hopefully, it maybe they time it with a nice big expansion that brings back, and hopefully it could be back to the old World of Warcraft. I don't know about Project Neptune. This is the first time I hear about it. So nice job, Crazy, with that information. And what I'm gonna say real quick, just to end it, is the game that I want. I said it in the chat. Is an RPG, Witcher 3 style game with the story of Arthas Menethil. Please, Blizzard, if someone hears this, please make this game right now. I'll pay you $100 for it. Not 70, 100. Please make this game. We need it. Sorry.
Dear Lord. The man went from 70 to 100. I thought I was gonna say 200 to get the collector's edition, but
I'll
okay,
pay
okay.
200. Oh, if you have a collector edition with Arthur's Menethil and
It's
Frostmore,
going up.
oh, let's go, baby. Yeah.
I'm gonna see Mrs. Sour with the chanclets are running through.
Don't tell her, though. Don't tell her.
So, quick one, guys. Any Overwatch fans here? Are you guys Overwatch fans? Yes,
Sort
no?
of. Sort of. You know, I'll play it.
Okay. I'll play. How about you, Simon? You're an Overwatch fan? Yes, no?
Nah.
Okay.
No.
Okay, I'll just go through it real quick. Overwatch is doing its early access launch October 4th, free to play live service and adding seasonal content. Do you guys think that's a good move on Overwatch to be free to play and add seasonal content, or they should stay the way they were? What do you guys think about that?
I'll jump on it real quick. Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
definitely, you know, it's a game that looks like it should be free to play. It will definitely bring more players. I think if
Yeah.
it is a different style than Call of Duty, than you know all these battle royales. So when people are tired of battle royales, that's a good game to jump in. And you know, since it's Overwatch 2, even though I think it shouldn't have been rebranded, it just should have been the same Overwatch. But you know, maybe it brings new players in, and hopefully it gets traction. But you know, I think definitely free to play is the way to go for this style of game. Not every game should be free to play, noted, but this should be free to play.
Alright. And my final question is, after the Activision Blizzard merger goes through with Microsoft, will we see lots of improvements and organization? What do you guys... Let me see what Santa Separate thinks of this right now. What do you think about that?
Could you say that again? Sorry.
Oh, no, no worries, no worries, no worries. I mean, I think we all this week got the sour blow curse from last week since he did a lot of
What?
tongue, what's it called? Twisters? That's the word.
Tongue
We got
twisters?
yeah, I think we got the sour blow curse this week. So
Oh,
I got my
because last
cross here.
week. Well, last
Yeah, here
week,
we go.
last week
I
I
got my
was
cross now.
I was pretty hot.
Hey.
I had no air conditioner.
Yeah,
it
no,
was
no.
it was horrible.
I think it's the heat. I feel like this room
Yeah.
is warming up faster than it should.
Yeah, even here. I mean, I got the AC and I'm just it's hot today.
But
So,
yeah,
yeah,
please restate.
Okay, after the Activision Blizzard merger goes through with Microsoft, will we see lots of improvements and organization?
Yes. Yeah, I think, you know, from the bottom up and the top down, like I think we're going to see a lot of changes that will help, um, both in staffing, management, like yeah, I think it's, you know, it's a knock-on effect, right? Is like when something like this happens and there's a drastic overhaul in a company, you're going to see a knock-on effect across the board. Like if everything changes there, like if things start to change and it's a better work environment, morale changes, you're going to see it not only in just the employees and the desire to be there to work, but also just you know, as the end user, we'll see it in the games. You know, like we'll see a benefit from the games as well, because we'll see people that maybe aren't being crunched on time in making these games where maybe they had been previously. I think, yeah, across the board, I think it's a positive thing. I think we'll see a lot of change, a lot of positive change.
All right, pretty cool. How about you, Sour?
Oh, okay.
You want to jump in real quick?
Hell yeah. I'm gonna become
Go for it.
Phil Spencer real quick. So this is what I would do real quick.
Yeah.
The first thing is, you know, Activision Blizzard, I would divide them again. Have Activision, have Blizzard, and have them, you know, separated different studios. Not everyone's gonna work on Call of Duty. No. You know, have a studio set for Call of Duty, and maybe, you know, some support teams when they're not busy doing their own IPs or so on, they could pitch in. And then even Xbox Studios, I would actually divide them because I think there are like 15 studios. I will have Matt Booty stays with 7 or 8 studios, and then what I would do is I would have Obsidian, which they are proven that they can manage games, and you know they can deliver games. They already have 2 games coming out this year, a Vow possibly coming out next year, and then probably the next year after that, they got Outer World 2. So why not give them control of more studios where they can manage their own division, kind of like have them become Bethesda. Then you have Bethesda running their own things. And then, hopefully, they can build more divisions after that. They can build a Japan division. If they buy a studio like Warner Brother, they can have them run themselves. But I think Matt Booty needs help. And I think Activision Blizzard shouldn't be just one. I think they should be divided into two. So, yes, that's what I think.
Yep, totally agree with you there. I mean, seriously, I don't know how much Bungie has under its wing, but each year they release new content for Destiny 2. So I think it's a good idea that they split the teams up and make one team work on Call of Duty, and each year with new content for its Call of Duty fans, and the others just work on other stuff, like you said. Split them up. I totally agree with you there, brother. Seriously, they need to split them up and some of them make new content, and the others just focus on what they need to focus on. Like for example, Overwatch and Call of Duty have the best teams that to work on those. Like Infinity Ward, which does the best Call of Duties, I think it is. Am I wrong or what? I think it's Infinity Ward, right?
They've both bounced back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Because like Infinity Ward's had really good ones. Treyarch's had a couple really good ones. Like it's bounced back and forth over the years.
Yeah. But like Sour Blow said, we need to split them up to make new stuff and also keep going those other cool contents. So yeah, here we go. Let's shake that hat. Let's shake that hat. Let's see what we get. What we shake that hat. Here we go. Oh. Let's see what's next. Oh, Gotham Knights first 60 minutes of gameplay. Oh man. Since Gotham Knights might be an action RPG, but it won't follow the generic convention of having your characters start as weaklings. Instead, Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood will all be the powerful Batman acolytes you expect at the start of the game, and find their own unique ways to become stronger over the course of the game. So, okay, Sour left, so I'll start with you then, Mr. Sandsteifer. I know where he left too, but yeah. So,
He's back.
oh, he's back? Okay. Hello, Sour. I got a question for you. Since you left, we were talking about Gotham Knights.
Oh.
First 60 minutes of gameplay. Sour, since the last time you saw gameplay of Gotham Knights, you weren't that hyped to play it. With this new gameplay, how does it look? How's the combat? And could this game run on Generation 8 consoles, be that Xbox One and PlayStation 4?
Okay, well, yes. Starting, yes, you are correct. When I first saw this game, I saw a few trailers. I saw some artwork, etc. And I was not hype at all for this game. This game had no traction for me. Just like Guardians of the Galaxy, when it was shown in all the trailers, it did not catch my attention. Guardian of the Galaxy, I did try it, I played it, I beat it, and I loved the game. I thought it was wonderful. And, I was hoping that, this game, when I finally try it, I will have the same reaction. And I gotta say, after seeing this trailer, I was super hyped for the trailer. It was more like a gameplay presentation, which I love that it plays a lot like Arkham City, which I was surprised because I believe it's not the same studio, actually. It's not Rocksteady. It's being made by the other studio. I forget the name. I think it's Warner Brother Montreal. Maybe I'm not correct. But
I think you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
But the point is that, I guess they grabbed a lot of it. Maybe they got some help, or I don't know. But, I saw an IGN gameplay, which the investigation part was wonderful. When it got to the combat, I thought the combat didn't showcase the best. But then again, IGN, unfortunately, they're not the best at showcasing gameplay.
Yeah, it was kind of...
So sorry. So I think they're not good at showcasing gameplay. And I think the reason is because they try to showcase too much, like, which it worked perfectly in the investigation part where they took their time and you saw the background, you saw all the details of all the environment, and it's perfect with the with the investigation. But once it got to the combat, I think they kept things too slow, and that's not how someone would actually play the game. And that's why I think they do horrible at gameplay, which is something they gotta improve. I mean, the first 3 to 5, 6 minutes they can take their time, but after that, once they get to the combat, they gotta really play it like they're actually playing it. Like it doesn't feel like they're actually playing it. So that why it
I mean,
showcased bad in that scenario. But however, since I know already how they do it, I'm super hyped for the game now.
yeah. That's pretty cool. It's pretty good because
Yeah.
seriously, IGN when they showed the game, it was literally like this. It's like you saw the character like standing up like this, and then let me get this real quick. And
Oh
then
my
all of a
god.
sudden,
Of course,
you
we get a
saw
demonstration.
Oh God.
you saw a black girl like the person hit square. You saw her go like pop, pop, and pop, and then
Yeah,
all of a
it's
sudden the guy falls and like stands up and waits for the guy to get up again.
yeah.
And when the guy gets close, she does a backflip, which I'm not gonna do, guys. So no, that's not gonna happen.
No, well,
Don't
that's
worry.
what we want to see.
Yeah, that's
and then we see her go bop, bop, and then like, pop. And I was like, okay, that was
No,
like
no, no.
literally
Sit
really
down.
weird.
Sit back down, crazy. If you're gonna do a demonstration, you gotta do the flips. I mean,
You
like,
gotta do the flips?
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't try to do a
It's-
demonstration without doing the flips. No.
it's all or nothing. So it's all or
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Yeah, IGN did not know how to show that really well, especially like okay, the stealth takedowns were pretty cool, but seriously,
Yeah.
it was weird. I was like,
It was more the combat because at the beginning
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
were showing the environment and then when they got in to showcase some of the
yeah.
investigation, Batgirl was investigating a certain case where I guess there was a murder mystery or so.
Yeah.
I think that was perfect because you yourself playing will probably take your time to investigate. So I think it worked well. But then when it got to the combat, I mean they gotta improve that. They gotta do
IGN
better.
seriously they got to improve that. That was like really slow, really creepy. It was weird. How about you, Silent Cipher? I mean, tell us for you, how does it look? How's the combat? And oh, sorry, you forgot to answer. Could have run for last gen, but it's okay.
Oh
Maybe Silent. Yeah,
yeah. Real quick, yeah.
No.
I think it might run, but then again, it's an open world game, so and we haven't seen the full game, so
yeah. We have not
we-
seen the map yet.
we gotta see what maybe new game mechanics maybe that the old version couldn't have run. So let's see, and let's see how big the game is too. Also, so that has a lot to. Yeah.
I've not seen that either. So tell us, Silent Cipher, how does it look? How's the combat? Could it have run in last generation, Gen 8, Xbox One and PS4? Go.
We're talking about Star Citizen, right?
That doesn't
No.
exist. That's not what-
No,
time's running.
Based on what I saw, it looks a lot better. I'm in the same boat as Sour was, right? Where when you first showed me this thing, I was like, all right, yeah, it looks like a game. That's great, but I'm not personally interested. But as I've seen more, as they've shown us more over time, I've grown a liking to it. Like when I watched this stuff this morning, actually, the 15-16 minute gameplay, it's looking good. I mean, it's like you guys said, it was really weird the way that they chose to present it. Person that played through it was kind of strange. Felt like there was a lot of hand holding there. They could have, played it like they would have normally played one of those, like if they were at home. But yeah, I mean, it looks good. The combat looks all right so far. I did enjoy some of the investigation stuff. I think that's cool. That was definitely something that pulled me in on the first Batman game quite a bit. So I could see getting into that quite a bit. I think it's going to be pretty successful. I don't think it's going to do as well as the Justice League game will end up doing because everyone knows Rocksteady and they're expecting, Rocksteady's release, and so for this to come out, I think they're going to be like, oh, but it's not Rocksteady.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be okay. I think could this run on the old generation consoles? I think the Xbox One X, yes, and maybe the PS Pro or whatever. But I mean, would you want to play this game on a regular Xbox One?
Nope.
No. You'd look like you're playing Minecraft.
I
Bunch
mean,
of blocks everywhere.
I mean, technically it could.
Well, it could by
could.
streaming, yes.
Because, like, if
Yes.
it comes to Game Pass, which I wouldn't complain,
Yes.
cloud
If it comes to Game Pass and
gamer.
Game Pass streaming, yeah. But if you were natively running it, no,
No,
dude, it
no,
would look like Minecraft. You'd be moving characters that look all blocky. Like that would be no good.
Well, it would be
Or
like
it'd be so blurry you couldn't see what was going on.
it would be like you're playing it in IGN though.
Oh, it's-
Moving very slowly because you have no idea what you're doing.
Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Oops, sorry. No IGN slander here. Just move along. We're good.
all right. Let's pick on our next topic real fast. Let's go. Oh, man, this is gonna be a pretty good one. Halo Infinite Forge Mode. Forge Mode in Halo Infinite hasn't officially launched yet, but players with access to an unfinished build are already crafting some truly brilliant creations. Users have created PT, Last of Us, and Doom. Seriously, what are your reactions to these awesome creations? I mean, Sarah Blow, tell us a bit about it. Did you love them?
Oh boy. Quick shout out to our brother Boxenberger, which I gotta call him out. Boxenberger, I'm sorry to say this, but man, you are crazy, man. This Halo Infinite, I mean, with Forge, new maps, new stuff. I mean, the gameplay have always been excellent. The feel of the game, the art style. I think if they come out with enough maps, enough game modes, and 3 for 3, all they gotta do is pick it up on, bringing up content, constantly. I think Halo got a shot at coming back. And the thing is, a lot of people are like, oh, but yeah, they're having the community do all the work. What are they doing? What do you mean, what are they doing? They're doing Forge. That's why they spent all this time doing this. And the way Forge is looking, like all the things you can make with Forge, I mean, this is awesome. So, sorry, Boxenberger, but I think this will definitely help Halo Infinite. Of course, they need great marketing and they need other stuff to accompany it, to help it. So I think with this, the battle royale mode, and a good marketing, I think Halo is coming back.
How about you, Sally? What was your reaction when you saw it?
Well, real quick, Sour, the
Yeah.
the battle royale mode, allegedly.
Well,
Okay,
it could be
we
different.
start.
I actually don't want it to be a battle royale.
No,
I want
no.
it to be
I
different.
would be
Yeah.
for something in that style.
Yeah,
but their own
but
take on
their
it. For
own
sure.
take, exactly.
No, I think this is great. I mean, I've said this before to you guys previously, and I'll continue saying it. Is like, I think Forge should have been a main focus early on, especially where they were having troubles getting content out, getting maps out, and stuff like that. Because if you give this the community and you say, here, go nuts, like,
Yep.
yeah, sure, it's the community making it, and the team is working on other stuff. So yeah, you're not getting officially launched material from the company. But at the same time, like, you think about that, like PT, Last of Us, Doom, stuff like that being made in there. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a super fun time, personally. Like, I think that'd be a blast to jump in and play around in those. And I think that's honestly, again, like the focus they really should have had earlier on is get Forge moving, so that way people can create, they can do their thing, and that's gonna take a lot of people's time for a while. Like
Yeah.
if you jump into a hopper of user created matches or maps or whatever, like you could sit there and just it'd be like fiesta mode essentially, but with like user created maps. You could sit there and waste hours on stuff like that because some of those user creator maps are insane, you
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super stoked about that, and
Yeah.
I really look forward to when that comes to us common folk that aren't in the insider rings and stuff.
All right. Cool
Uh,
stuff.
real quick, something to add. I hope also
Yeah.
that if a user comes out with a nice new game mode with the Forge mode, hopefully maybe 343 maybe they can find a way of either buying that game mode or something, and then they
Yeah.
can add it to the actual game, and that way is more content. But
Yep.
also at the same time you also want to give those fans that are making these games, you want to give them some kind of a bonus or something, for them working hard for on this. So if you want to use their actual content, you got to also like give them something back.
You know, for me, what would be cool? I mean, this would be awesome for the Forge mode if they had like for PT, the monsters that Master Chief killed in the past coming back as a ghost to haunt him. The Flood in The Last of Us. That would be pretty. That would be pretty funny. I mean, the Flood chasing you in like kind of like The Last of Us. Oh, pretty hilarious. And for the Doom part, the Doom guy coming to rip the Master Chief head off. I would totally really be happy if they could add that to the Forge mode.
uh,
That would be pretty
can,
cool.
can I ask you a question from the chat?
Yes, go for it, brother.
Yeah,
Ask it
barely
away.
barely making a rant has a great question. He says Forge may save Halo player base, but
Right.
how will it generate revenue? I want it, but I don't want it monetized. What do you think about that, Crazy?
Monetize, monetize. When do you mean? When do you mean by monetize? What does he mean by that?
Well,
Yeah.
I think what he means is like, there's a lot of games that, they add where players can create these game modes. However,
Ooh.
if you want to
Yeah.
use it, you got to pay extra for
You
it.
gotta pay. That's it's like
Yeah.
what's this game that kids love to play and people too Roblox. When they create a content, in
Yeah.
order to play, you gotta yeah. Yeah, I don't think that they will monetize it. Will they or no?
I think
Kind of
it
doubt it.
I think it could depend also because
Yeah.
the thing is like you're giving the tools to the person to create these games, but a lot of I think Roblox works this way. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but the user could create a full game with like a full game mode, like completely from zero. It's a different style of game. It's not actually Roblox. So what they do, they monetize their game because they're making their game and
Yeah.
they're spending their time. So I think if that's the case, then maybe it should be monetized because if the fan is spending their time and resources or whatever to make this game, because it's a game within a game, I think they should be compensated. However, if the fan is just making a map or just adding to a map, then I think it just should be free, definitely. So, it's a matter of how you look at it. I also think, like I said, if a player or a fan, whatever you want to call it, makes
Mm-hmm.
a map or makes a style of game that it gets very popular and it's they know it's very good and appealing, I think 343 and Microsoft should actually look at them and be like, hey, we want to buy you that game mode and just buy it straight off for them and give us content because I think they owe us that.
Yeah, it could happen because I just looked for it and it's actually a subject that they're asking around. It could be monetized, it could be not. But let's cross our fingers and let's hope that it doesn't. But in a good way, if it does, I don't know.
Yeah.
Eh, we have to wait and see. We have to
Yeah,
wait and
let
see.
us see.
But
I again, I
because
understand
again,
if it's a
I
game
understand.
mode
Yeah,
from zero that the player actually, the fan gets creative and he creates his
yeah,
own game mode. I think maybe he should monetize because
yeah.
it's
But
his idea.
but if it's as good as, like I said, if you like for PT, you get the Ghost in there, and Flood for The Last of Us, and you got the Doom guy chasing after you with the chainsaw, then heck yeah, we'll pay for the Doom guy chasing me
Yeah,
after
I
this
mean,
chainsaw, man. That would be pretty cool.
and we got to think about
Yeah,
the person that's creating it. I mean,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
taking his time to
yeah.
do
It's
that.
taking his time.
It's not
Yeah,
like anyone could just jump in and do that
yeah,
exact game.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to jump to the last one. Well, I didn't have to grab it though. Warhammer 40,000 fans, you'll be waiting a little longer for this co-op shooter. Due to be released on September 13th, but the PC version has now been pushed back until November 30, 2022, with the console edition launching on Xbox Series X and S shortly after. And have you guys hyped for this to play this game?
Yeah.
You are, Silent? Alright.
Yeah.
So, Silent, are you sad that it got another delay? At least we know it's coming for PC in November. Do you think for the Xbox Series X and S will come out this year?
No. Honestly, like I'm thinking probably February 23 probably looks the best. I doubt it'll hit January. I don't. I mean, they're obviously having some issues optimizing it or getting it up and moving properly on the console. And so, if that's the case, like it's probably a month or two behind them. You also have to look at the fact that the certification process on the consoles is a little different than when you're releasing it on PC. So that generally takes a little bit more time. But yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed uh, in the fact that like every time that we thought we had one more pillar left coming out this holiday season, it got pulled away from us. So yeah, a little chapped on that one. Kind of makes me
Yeah.
disappointed. I think the thing that I continue to trumpet over all this time is like, don't give us a release date if you're not certain. Give us a
Yeah.
release window, please. Because
Yeah.
every time you do this release day stuff, and then we got to do the dance 2 or 3 times around. I get it. Like delaying it usually ends up being a good thing at the end of the day, but it still frustrates me. Like as a customer who's like, sweet, I've got something in Game Pass I'm looking forward to, and then it gets kicked out. It's like, all right, well, now I've got stuff that I already had there. So, my only hope is that maybe they'll get some more deals going so we see some more surprises pop into Game Pass to pad the now absent section.
Yep. So much delays going on. At least we got Scorn coming out October 21st, which is pretty cool. Yes, can't wait to play Scorn. Yes, for now. How about you? How about you, Sour? I mean, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, pretty excited to play it because it's a co-op game. I always
Yeah.
like playing co-op game, especially if we can play it on our Friday community night. That would
Yeah.
be awesome. But it's sad that it's being delayed, but at the same time, it's better that it gets delayed. We get the best version of it, and so. And for me, pretty much this year is kind of like whatever. Like let's just try to work on our back catalog and
Yeah.
for
Yeah, but you got a
backlog.
lot of
And,
stuff.
yeah, just forget about this year and
Yeah.
just hopefully 2023, which looks to be packed. It's gonna be like we're gonna have no time to play the games we
Yep.
want to play because there's so many coming out 2023
Yes.
and
I
so
couldn't-
many that hasn't even been announced yet. So it's crazy.
couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Can I add one small fold to that real fast?
Yep.
I think because of all the big games that we do have coming, I bet you we're going to see a lot of stuff delayed out of 23 too, though. Because with how many things we've got coming in,
Could be,
23
could
now,
be, but even so, I think 2023 is gonna be packed.
yeah,
And
it will. It will.
speaking of, I'm actually I'm gonna try to see if I can make. I'm making a video because I'm very excited of a game that a lot of information is being leaked. Some information I got from behind the scenes, and I'm gonna try to make a video and upload it to this channel, which I'm gonna talk about this game. You know, spoiler alert: if you like wrestling, you're gonna like it. So,
Ooh,
got a lot of information about it. Just saying.
ooh. Oh man. And now it's time to hand out the controllers back to our awesome captain. Take it away, sir.
Oh boy. All right. You know what? You're gonna have to give me a moment of indulgence.
Yep. Take a breather. Take a breather. Well, you take your
Because
moment. I was gonna say
what?
before you take your moment of indulgence, I forgot to answer myself. Yes, I am hyped to play the game. This is a full co-op game, and I cannot wait till it come out to console. And it will it come out this year? I don't know yet, but I hope it does. If it doesn't, then yeah, we'll wait for next year. So take it away, my dear captain.
All right. So, my goodness, we are to our main topic now, which is gonna be a real whammy. Usually we do our three-course meal approach on this. We are three topics, but because of everything going on, we
Yeah.
have conglomerated one giant meaty portion of a meal.
Oh
It's
my
like someone came over and just dropped a 20-pound brisket right on your plate and was like, "Okay, here's all your food." So buckle in a little bit because there's going to be some context into this as we go, but we will try and make it interesting and saucy as we continue. So, as both Sony and Microsoft continue to gear up for the battle of the hearts, minds, and living rooms, we land on our main topic, which is the road to 3 billion. So, as of August 2020, it was reported that just over 3 billion people worldwide, or about 40% of the world population, now play video games in some form. This evening, we're going to discuss what both Microsoft and Sony have done in the past decade, basically, to get this furious competition that we see today. So, we start off on Xbox's side of things with Phil Spencer's strategy and vision for Xbox. So, back in E3 2016, he had the press briefing and had kind of begun the foundation for what would lead to what we see now with the Xbox division. He unveiled the new Xbox Play Anywhere program. He had announced Xbox One S, the Scorpio. There were a lot of big things that were hitting off around that time. 2017, we ended up seeing him launching Game Pass. Like the team ended up launching Game Pass. They had the Xbox 20th anniversary. So there was a lot of stuff at that point. So Phil Spencer actually had a quote. He had stated that we're building a platform that can reach billions of players, whether it's on console, whether it's on PC, whether it's through the cloud streaming. Sorry, where players on any device that want to play should be able to play and find the content that they want to play. So basically, the idea that wherever you are, you're going to have access to these things, these titles, moving forward. Now, obviously, as time's gone on, we've had time to see if that worked out. Microsoft they disrupted the gaming world when they announced Game Pass. For me personally, I would say that they disrupted it because it definitely caused everyone to take a step back. Think about it and consider how maybe gaming as a whole could change going into the future. But as we take a quick second, Sour, I want to jump over to you real quick. Do you think that Microsoft disrupted the gaming industry and gaming world when they announced Game Pass?
Well, you want me to be 100% completely honest?
Go for it.
Okay. To be completely honest, at that moment, I wasn't even following any of the console war shenanigans or anything like that. At that moment, I was playing on my PC. I was playing MMOs and all that. So I didn't really know about that. Of course, later on, once I got into console, I started learning a little bit more here and there. But for me, when I discovered Game Pass, it was game changing for me. Definitely. Like, it was so game changing that I went from not wanting to play on console, where now I play more on console than in my actual PC. And I just got a beefy PC right now. And sometimes I get on my PC and I start playing, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm going to my console. I'm going to sit back and relax and play. So yeah, it game
So
changer.
so you weren't fully enveloped in that side of things at that point. When did it really take over for you? Like, was it 2018? Right around there?
I would say it was around the end of the Xbox One. I mean, the Xbox One X was already out.
Okay.
So it was really like, I was playing PC. My friends introduced me to Sea of Thief, like a lot of them know. And they basically got tired of, they said that there were a lot of cheating in PC, or the people were too broken in PC. And they kept saying, listen, it got to a point where they said, like, if you don't get a console, we're not playing with you. So I got a 1S. And then when I jumped to the 1S, and I also jumped because of Game Pass, basically, because I saw what Game Pass had on PC at that time. It didn't had that much as it had in console. When I saw the console, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should try it. And then, once I got the console, I tried playing and trying out games, and I started seeing that, you know what? A lot of these games that are supposedly bad games, they're not so bad after all. Like Rise 2, Quantum Break. I tried so many of those games that were exclusive that's supposed to be bad. Like, my friends used to tell me, oh, Xbox games suck. And out of all those games, the only one that I probably tried and didn't actually finish was Recore. Because I did get bored of that game. But every other game, I thought it was great, actually. So I was
Nice.
surprised and impressed.
Yeah,
Mm.
Quantum Break, one of the most underrated games of that generation.
Oh
It
yeah,
makes me so sad that that thing got
Sunset
just
Overdrive. Oh my god, I love that game.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
100%. So crazy. I'll come over to you with the same thing.
Right, right.
Do you think that Microsoft ended up disrupting the gaming world with this approach with Game Pass?
I'll be honest with you, when it first started, I was like, okay, I saw the Game Pass, but the funny thing is, I had every game that was in the Game Pass. I was like, oh man, should I get it?
Yep.
Should I use it? I was like, eh. But then when they came out with the cool deal that if you pay, I think it's 3 years of gold, and you subscribe to Game Pass, you get that Game Pass Ultimate. You get literally 3 years of Game Pass. I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. So I jumped into it, and I'll be honest with you, I'm glad I did. I mean, because of Game Pass right there, literally for me at that point, I was like, yep, they are disrupting everything. Just when they announced that, they started disrupting everything. But when it began, I was like, okay, this looks interesting. But I had pretty much every game that was in it, and I was like, you know. But thank God, like I said, thank God I did get into it around. I think it was in 2019 or 2018. They made that announcement, and I'm really happy that I did because seriously, I'm trying every game there is in Game Pass, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun, and
Oh,
yeah, for me, it's what it is. It's the Netflix of gaming, and it keeps on growing. Yes, Sour, go for it. What do you gotta
real
say, buddy?
quick, I just
Oh,
remember when I exactly jumped full into Game Pass, because I did get Game Pass before for PC to try
oh,
out, Sea of Thief and all that, and play with my
uh,
friends.
there
But
you go.
when I fully went like I just started playing like crazy. Like I was getting like over 6,000 achievement point every month. Was when I saw the Hellblade announcement and the Xbox announcement, when I saw that trailer, which I think you're gonna talk
Ooh,
about that later on, that's where I jumped into it.
yeah,
Fully, like, yeah.
so fun.
Yeah, no, I agree with you that that made a pretty big difference for a lot of people. I think that definitely set some folks back in their chairs.
Hmm.
Crazy, yeah. I very much agree with you. Like in the early years when they first announced it, like there was definitely potential, right, to Game Pass. There was that promise that things are going to become bigger. But at
Yeah,
that point in time, I was right there with you. I think
yeah.
probably most of what they were saying was going to be in Game Pass. I was like, all right, well, I already own
Oh, you
that,
own them.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think, God, I would have to think back to it, but I'm pretty sure. I want to say it was probably Forza Horizon 4.
That came,
Um,
no, that came later on into Game Pass. Game Pass started, and then that came later on into it.
well,
But
three came in later. I think 4 actually launched day and date,
they did. I
if I
don't remember
remember
though.
correctly. But
I don't remember
but
though.
that I remember that being, I think, one of the first times where I'd actually gotten to use Game Pass and be like, oh sweet, I don't have to actually buy this game. It's in
Yeah.
here. It's just there. Like it took a good while before I was like really, I think, taken back by it, right? Because we had some stuff that came in here and there, but that I think was the first time where I was like, oh wow, like okay, you just saved me $60 on this game, and this is just going to be a reoccurring theme as time moves on, if they're to be believed. Which, as we've seen over the last bit, obviously that is what they continued with, and it will continue in the future, which is awesome. Um, so we're going to shift into the next portion of this one, which
Yeah.
is the Xbox Everywhere strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the results of Game Pass and Play Anywhere. So they ended up, at this point, they've gotten over 25 million subscribers in Game Pass. We don't have dead on accurate numbers with that because Microsoft stopped fully reporting numbers quite a while ago with both
Mm-hmm.
consoles and Game Pass. So you can kind of get a feel for it at this point. Some companies have pulled metrics to get a general feel of where they're at. Um, but games have grown the player counts thanks to some of the games as a service. So we saw stuff like Forza Horizon 5 that's exceeded 20 million players worldwide since launch. We had Grounded, which reached 10 million players already. Sea of Thieves, which is at a whopping 25 million. Elder Scrolls Online, sorry, which hit 15 million, and then more than 20 million have already played Halo Infinite. So that's huge, like on its own right there. That tells you, and also that does guide you pretty well into like where those Game Pass numbers
Mm-hmm.
are, right? Like if you're hitting 20 million pretty easily, yes, there's going to be some actual purchases, but there's going to be a good chunk of that for Game Pass. Yeah, what's up, Crazy? What do you
All
got?
right, all right. Yeah, we got to raise our hands here like we're back in school. Also, we also really important that it's good that we mentioned that Xbox Cloud Gaming's free Fortnite port has already been played by over 4 million players, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that's
Yep.
pretty amazing. When I read about that, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That when they partnered with these guys with what's their
Epic.
name, Epic, yeah.
Epic
Yep.
Games.
When they partnered with Epic, that happened. That's insane. And also that in Japan they did pretty well in sales for the first time in I don't know how long. Seriously,
Sold more
and
than double
the one and
versus
Yeah.
what
double.
they had
Yeah,
They're
previously. So
doing
that's
yeah,
pretty
that's
good.
that's great for them. Like in the past
yeah.
several weeks, seeing that increase, like it's low numbers compared to other markets for sure, but in that market they've never done very well except for like I think 360 did okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so it's
But
it's been a while.
but that will all change after Saturday when I release my Japan trailer. So stay tuned in Sour Blow 18 YouTube channel and please share the trailer.
I mean,
Shameless
seriously.
plug. Shameless plug.
I mean,
Hey, I gotta
seriously.
promote my trailer. I gotta promote my
Yeah.
trailer.
I'm about to text Miss Sour and be like, hey, give him the chancleta right now. He need that.
Hey, I should get a
So
bonus from Xbox because of it.
you should.
Oh,
You're gonna
oh, you
start seeing
should.
spiffs, right?
Yeah.
So with this information, so we're gonna take another second because that's a lot of information to take on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're gonna take a quick second, and I've got a question for you on this. So
All right.
with Microsoft no longer actually announcing hard numbers for Game Pass and consoles and stuff like that, what do you guys think the actual Game Pass subscriber number lands at this
Oof.
point? Because like they say, more than 25 million, but it doesn't give us a cap on that. It doesn't give us an actual accurate
Yeah.
number at this point. So, Sour, because you look like you're more prepped for this one. Louis is still thinking. So, Sour, go for it.
Well, I honestly think this whole Activision deal kind of has them on mute. And I
Yeah.
think, they don't really want to talk about numbers right now. What they want to do is, they kind of want to smooth things out and leave things roll. And once this deal is over with, maybe they will give numbers. Also, we got to take into account that this 2022, unfortunately, first party wise, hasn't been the best. They had to delayed a few games, but I think honestly, what I think is they're preparing themselves for when this deal is over. They got a good number of studios ready to pour out a good amount of games, which they're probably organizing right now to have a good roadmap. And that's what I think. And I think derailing a little bit, I think Phil Spencer is a gangster. I think he is a gangster because this whole thing about him, what crazy? Don't scratch your head. I think this whole thing about him saying, "Oh, I'm so excited to play God of War" and all this. I think he's just playing it out because he wants to make Sony look like this. They have this, which they do. God of War is a huge IP. It's and a lot of people are excited for the game. However, come on, man. Microsoft has so many huge IPs. They got
Oh,
freaking Starfield that everyone is
oh,
freaking waiting for this game, and he's gonna say, "Oh, I'm waiting for God of War to play." That's my
Well,
no.
it's
but wait,
You're playing it out because you are a gangster and you want this deal to go through, and you want Sony to look strong.
yeah.
uh,
I mean,
But yeah,
it's good. It's good for him, for Microsoft, for Xbox as a whole, if he maintains that rapport to an extent, but also has proper candor, and the optics. Like if he were coming out and he were just bashing him, he's like, "Oh,
yeah,
God of
yeah,
War,
yeah, yeah.
say hi to
yeah.
my nice new Starfield, sucker." Like if he's coming out doing something like that, it's not going to look as
It's not.
good.
Yeah,
If he's
it's
Uh,
yeah.
if
but
he's showing he can be
hey,
professional about it, that goes a long way.
but why a gangster? Why don't you just say that the guy loves to play games? That's all. That's what he
No,
loves to
he
do. I
He
mean,
no,
is
he
he
is
he's
is
an
a
a
gangster.
OG.
gangster.
He is an
He.
OG.
I
He's
mean,
an
seriously,
OG gangster, man.
this man loves to play video. I mean, I can hop on. You know how many times I've invited him to play, and he just never has stopped on because
That's
it's he.
because
Okay, that
he's plotting and
Um,
coordinating.
yeah.
yeah, yep, yep. Yeah, but he literally every time I see him on, he's either on Destiny or I don't know where he's at though. But he's always playing. I see him a lot playing. He loves to play games. Nothing
Oh
wrong with
man.
that.
But
He's playing games while he's at the round table making
Yeah.
decisions for gaming
Yeah.
conquer.
yeah. But anyway, the fact of the fact is that he doesn't. Well, Xbox as a whole, Microsoft as a whole, in fact, they need this deal to go through. So
Yeah.
they're gonna lay low until this deal came through us Sony already kind of like, they kind of voice a little bit of their concern, which we're gonna cover later on. So stay tuned in the episode. We're definitely gonna cover that. That's a very interesting topic. So that's why I think they're kind of laying low with everything, with numbers, with being kind of
Yeah.
friendly with all the companies and everything like that, because they're just waiting for this big transaction to go through, and then after that, mm, I think they're gonna go heavily in marketing, and I also think they're gonna aggressively make more purchases.
Yeah, I think they will. Totally agree with you there, brother. Totally agree with you there. They will make more purchases. They will. After the whole Activision deal goes through, that's it. It's
I
gone.
think our captain is silent.
Yes, he is. He's pretty silent.
No lies, absolute lies. So crazy. Before I bounce to you though, Sour, I don't think you answered my question though.
Oh, what was your question? Sorry.
Yeah,
What do you think
sour.
the actual?
Sour, you're getting the crazy Louis curse. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
yep.
So
There you
what?
are.
So you got all wrapped up.
Sorry.
What do you think the actual Game Pass subscriber number is at this point?
Okay. Well, I was actually not trying to answer it because I didn't want to be wrong, but I think it might be around 30. I think it could have been higher if we would have had Redfall right now, and then Starfield would come soon. But because of that, maybe it's around 30, 31, 32 or so. I don't think it's as high as many people think. Because also, like I said before, the pandemic made gaming had a huge jump. But after that, also, not everyone is playing that much again. Because now, people are doing other things. And also, the games that are out, even though they're nice games, some of them, but they're not as big as probably 2023 when we have Starfield, Zelda, Breath of the Wild, uh, Dead Space, etc. So many games coming out next year. Oh
Yep.
my god.
Yep.
So I think so you said, did you say just over 30 is what you're
Yeah,
saying then?
30 to 32. Actually, Jedi Peter said 32 too. So shout out to him.
Yeah, so I'm gonna slap you both down real quick and say no.
Oh.
because if they went over 30 million, I'm pretty sure we would have heard about that, because that's
But
a pretty
remember,
sizable deal,
they're in the middle of purchasing
so.
the
Yes.
biggest purchase in gaming history. So
I think they'd
they're
still
laying
say
they're laying
so.
low.
But you actually did answer my other question in the process of saying all that stuff, because I kind of think that Redfall and Starfield, I think it kind of maybe caused a little bit of a stall, right?
Yes.
Like, we had a lot of stuff that was lined up for this year, and now it's looking pretty barren. So it probably stalled out a bit. But I would not be surprised if next year they pulled an easy 10 million,
Oh yeah.
like across everything going on,
Especially
because
with
a lot of that
Starfield.
stuff's coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, and we
Yep.
gotta take into
Agreed.
account real quick before you go to crazy that
Mhm.
a lot of people, they not everyone follow Twitters and follow the whole console wars and all of that. So a lot of people, they might know that Bethesda is coming out with a new IP that's 25 years in the making, but they might not be for sure. They might not know that for sure it's gonna be an Xbox exclusive. So once the game, they start seeing heavy marketing, or once the game actually comes out and they actually see, hey, the only way to play it is either Game Pass or you purchase it in an Xbox console. That's gonna be like a wow moment for a lot of people. They're gonna be like, wait a minute, what? So I gotta get it. Oh, sorry, PC also.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, that's I agree with you 100%. When because we've been talking about it for the last few years now, right? But once that really hard brick wall comes into play, and everyone hits it, and they're like, "Oh, what was that?" and they realize that it's only in Game Pass, Xbox, PC, you know, environments or ecosystem, that is going to be a sharp reality. And a major turning point, I would say. But crazy. So we'll bounce it over to you now. Sorry,
All
sorry
right.
to keep you waiting for a minute,
Yep.
sir.
You guys have me
Um,
punished today.
I just have you sitting for a second. I was giving you time to think it through.
Okay.
So first off, what do you think the Game Pass subscriber numbers are as of now? No waffling like Sour did, where he gave me a range of like 5,000
yeah.
or 5 million. I mean,
5 million. No, not only that, he gave you a long sermon. He was pretty much
he
preaching
sure
today.
did.
Yep.
He
Yeah, he
gave a
did.
sermon
Yeah,
and tried to
yeah.
avoid answering
He
my
almost,
question.
he almost grabbed his Bible and was like, "Yeah, here
Yeah.
we go, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, yeah." Oh,
So
I'll be honest with you. I'll stick to 32. You know, I mean that's probably the number, but I think it's between 30 and 32. Not as much, because since this game has been, I mean, not this game, this year has been kind of slow with the exclusives and the content that comes in. And so yeah, if they announce something big, then those numbers are gonna whop up back up. But yeah, I'll be probably between 30 and 32,000. 32 million, I mean. 32 billion.
okay.
That's my number, yeah.
Um, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and say real quick. So you think that Redfall and Starfield probably ended up causing a stall as well? Yes.
This year indeed has been causing a lot of stall, not only for the Xbox side and every console, because a lot of third party games also have been delayed, and first party. It's been one crazy messy year, but and in their defense, I mean, if you sit down and you listen to the devs and stuff, and not only that, that Unreal 5 came out in April of this year. Most of those games they're like, hey, why don't we just delay and just let us make the game Unreal 5.
Yeah.
It could be like
Upgrade to
Yeah,
the new engine.
upgrade.
upgrade to the new
Yeah.
engine and see how it goes. So yeah, it's been a messy year, but let's see what happens and
Cool.
along the way. Yeah.
Well, I'll just say real fast. I think 28 million. Okay, now we're gonna keep on moving.
Oh wow.
Yep. Yep.
So the next thing we're going to talk about in this gigantic, this giant prime rib sandwich of a topic, is that Logitech announces this week a dedicated cloud gaming handheld that supports xCloud gaming and more. So Logitech G is working with Tencent Games to launch a dedicated cloud gaming handheld later this year. The new hardware will be designed for cloud gaming services, offering a dedicated device with controls instead of the typical cases that you can hook to your phones like we have now. Cloud gaming handheld is going to support Xbox Cloud Gaming, NVIDIA's GeForce Now service, and Logitech and Tencent are both working with Microsoft and NVIDIA on the hardware. So, this is pretty cool. And I think the takeaway I have from this, and we're going to have a quick little chat as we continue on, but I think personally in this option provides an additional solution for Microsoft not to get directly involved in building portable hardware. You let Logitech manage the hardware, partner with them, have the native app on the hardware instead. And it also allows Logitech, Microsoft, and Tencent to have a competitive handheld offering in the market that's cheaper than the Steam Deck.
That's actually part of the question I want to ask you guys. Can I ask y'all?
Sure.
Sure.
Since when Logitech has been cheap? I mean, I think Logitech is probably like pretty expensive.
I'm gonna say $3.99 is gonna be the cap on this thing.
I don't know. I don't think they're that expensive because
They're not.
Yeah,
no, they're,
I mean,
not. They're not
well-
expensive. Think about it, like
well,
webcams,
if-
for example. They have great
a pretty
webcams
broad range
for and for
Okay,
great
okay.
prices.
maybe I got stuck along the years with their speakers when they had the 5.1 speakers that were like the coolest speakers in the world, and they were like
But you
almost $300.
okay? But you
back
said
in
it
the day.
the coolest. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like you're talking. So just like all these companies, right? Like you have
Yeah.
Steam Deck that has multiple iterations. You have Xbox that has a Series S or the super
yeah.
fancy X, right? Like Logitech has lower end budget stuff, but does go up to a higher level as well. They've got their gaming series stuff. For me personally, I would venture a guess of a range between 299 to 399 for the
You
handheld.
think?
I
You think
think
so?
299 to 349 is the max, but maybe 399.
Yeah.
But Sour, what do you think? What do you think they would come out as on pricing, and do you think this is their solution so they don't have to get into the hardware side of things for portable?
Well, according to the information we know so far, this is gonna be strictly cloud based, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing that it's cloud based, and you already have the Steam Deck that starts at the price of 400, I'm assuming that this is gonna be 250 or less at most. And I think maybe the price might be like $150 or something like that. Actually, I don't think it's gonna be
With
that expensive. I don't
maybe
know.
if there's maybe if there's multiple SKUs, I think the thing that's going to lock us up, just like the Vita, right, was that screen. Depending, like, are we talking LCD screen or are we talking an OLED?
Well, this the
Does
yeah
that
the
one
the,
make a
the
difference?
the screen will definitely make a difference, but at the same time, you don't need a high end CPU. Yeah, I mean, you also don't need a high end GPU. It's gonna be more like cloud based. So it's all gonna depend on the technology, the infrastructure they want to add for the actual console to run these, you know, this cloud based game, and what they're gonna implement. That's gonna hopefully, run them as best as possible and take the most advantage of cloud gaming itself. Which I don't know, maybe hopefully they have a nice solution, and I don't think it's gonna be that expensive. If they come out at a price like over $300, I don't think that's a good price when you have the Steam Deck that starts at $400. I'm sorry.
It, it all depends though. It depends on what screen they use and the technology they're
I
using.
don't care what
Yeah.
screen. I don't care what
Hey,
screen you have. If you have a
Sour.
cloud-based console at $300, and then you have the Steam Deck, which you can run games natively, but you can also run them in the cloud at 400, and it's also a
Yeah,
PC.
but wait,
I
wait
mean,
wait a second. If it's $300 with the 512 NVMe SSD,
but it doesn't
and you're like,
matter because
whoa, you know?
why would it have a 512 when it's cloud-based only? Remember.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree.
So
Yeah,
so
good
yeah,
No,
point. Good point.
that's
Yeah,
he's correct. The storage
it's
is not going to
correct.
be a
Yeah.
concern on that side of things unless there's
Hmm.
other surprises up their sleeve. Crazy.
Yeah.
exactly, yeah.
What do you think on the pricing?
Hmm. You asked me so much tough questions today, especially for the numbers.
Wait a minute, what?
It's not tough. You just throw a number out there. We won't hold you
Right.
to that number down the road.
I mean, I'll be honest. It all depends on what they use because, like I said, it all depends on the build of the deck. It's yeah, man. Because like for example, last week I had the Steam Deck in hand and I was like, feeling it, touching it, and literally just messing around with it. It felt like a 600 and something dollars. It literally felt with the 512 and all that stuff in it. It was amazing. I mean, games load up so fast. It was incredible. I was like, wow. And not only that, it was comfortable. For my hands, I have small hands. It was comfortable. So it all depends on what they use, right? If they it depends on the technology they use on the what's it called, joysticks, D-pads, buttons, and triggers and all that crap. So if they use pretty much good stuff, I'd say like a whopping 200, 250. That would pretty good price range. It, like I said, it all depends, and also on the Bluetooth that can have a good signal and can get good internet, because that's an issue, for example, that you have for iPads and a whole other stuff that literally you walk out, like I can walk outside the door and the iPad, just the internet doesn't reach into it. That, I mean, like
Yeah.
the old iPads. I don't know about the new ones,
Yeah.
but yeah, you know. And also, we have a question right here. Could you see Sony partnering or making their own cloud-only PlayStation branded device or Vita 2 at some point? Well, I'll be honest with you on that. On my point of view for that question, I hope they do, because literally, they are not that bad making handhelds. I mean, the PSP is actually one of the best handhelds they ever made, and that little baby sold a lot until they went to Vita. But that's a whole other thing. But you know, yeah.
So
And this is like, and one last thing, it's handheld competition. It's incredible. We got everybody going into handhelds now. It's
Okay.
insane.
Before you pass it on, crazy. Do
What's
you
up?
think Xbox should do a handheld?
Right now, because after I grabbed the Steam Deck and everything, I'm 100% there with you. They should do a handheld. After you grab the Steam Deck, I totally 100%. But but if they do it, they gotta do it with the storage and all that stuff. You
Yep.
know.
How about
If you're gonna make an Xbox handheld, you
Yep.
need to allow me to download the games
And
onto it,
exactly.
so I don't have to worry about internet connection.
Because again, here in Dominican Republic, like that's something I couldn't do with the Steam Deck. I couldn't access the xCloud unless if I installed an ExpressVPN. And if I install the ExpressVPN, it's still gonna have problems, because I already tried it once on my computer, on my MacBook. I with ExpressVPN I could access xCloud, and I was playing, what's that shark game? I forgot. Maneater. I tried
That's a
Maneater.
good one.
It's a good. Oh, I love that game. It's fantastic. I hope they make part two, and I hope they move on fast with it. And it had a little. It wasn't as fast as it's supposed to be, and that's because of my internet. But if you're gonna make me a deck things Xbox, seriously, put storage in it. We need it with storage so we can download it. Won't have that issue.
Okay,
So
how about you, Silent? What do you think about PlayStation first having a handheld device, or and also like should Xbox do their own handheld?
man, at this point, like I said, I think my caveat is unless I can download the games onto it, I don't see a point in Microsoft having one. Um, I personally, like, you've got xCloud all over everything at this point, right? Like I can pull my phone out and I can play some games while I'm on break at work. Like you can play stuff anywhere at this point. So unless there's a specific, case in point, like if there's a specific use reason to bring that thing out, sure. I don't want another PS Vita though.
Yeah, same here.
Personally, I just don't really. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't care. I've got enough games in the Xbox ecosystem. I'm not gonna buy a Vita if they bring another one out.
Yeah,
Personally, I just don't have the need for it. But I could understand why a lot of people would be interested. It's
Yeah.
just not in my use case scenario. It doesn't benefit me. I'd have to restart into a new ecosystem, and I just don't want to deal with that crap. But speaking of Sony, thank you, Sour. We're going to jump on to Sony real quick. The
yes,
tale
sir.
of two Sonys, as it were. So let's not forget that Sony was the first to promise a service that would provide users with games powered by PlayStation Cloud, right? So way back in the day, back in 2013, they had Gaikai. They had actually shut down on live service, and they got the startup company going at 380 million for Gaikai. So on live, if you'd never played it, very quick example of that one. It was basically like what we're playing now. It was your Xbox Anywhere cloud service, but it was rough. It was really rough. It's just like when Microsoft came out with the Xbox One generation and said, these are all the things we want. TV, 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 all these different things. And then like all the digital ownership and stuff like that, they were ahead of the game OnLive was very much ahead of the game at that point in time, and unfortunately, it just did not work out for them. But Sony benefited by taking them on, creating their Gaikai service, and continuing on in that. Now, they never really went as intensive with Gaikai as maybe they could have, right? Like they could. It almost feels like maybe it was a mistake for them not to go 100% into the cloud technology at that point in time, just because you look at how things have changed now, right? Like I feel like the same situation we've got with like the ABK merger and acquisition is like if Sony had created a Game Pass, which we'll talk about later, if they had created a Game Pass competitor early on and prepped themselves, then they could have competed in a better stepping, a better footing. Just like I think they would have done with this if they had had their cloud service prepped and they had something that could go directly against xCloud. At this point in time, maybe things would have turned out differently. But we're gonna continue on. We're gonna drill through a few things real quick. So with the next generation of gaming, when we ended up getting into 2019 at the Video Game Awards, Xbox had announced their high-end generation console, the Series X, and they showed Hellblade 2, which is what Sauer was talking about earlier.
Yep.
That wow moment of being like, hey, check this sucker out. This is why you want to get this. This is why you want to invest. Later on, later that year, actually, they had announced the lower SKU, the Series S. And they saw a big push on Game Pass and the Xbox Play Anywhere or Play Everywhere philosophy, essentially. So we started to see a lot more of that push. Like it started off slow and then it really started to ramp up at that point in time. Had a roadmap of future big games that were going to be coming out. Some of them we're still waiting on.
Unfortunately.
Neither here nor there. We continue on. So the thing that they did announce, obviously, was that with first-party games, we were going to start seeing those hitting day and date, day one in Game Pass, which was a big thing as well. We even saw some third-party release games, even from some of the competitive companies. MLB The Show says hi. Which was an awesome thing for anyone who wanted a baseball game because Microsoft just didn't have much on the console. No. They had a few Super Mega Baseball and stuff. Yeah, crazy.
I was gonna say something real quick, and it was a good move because literally, Sony said it was a good move for MLB to jump into Xbox. Just to bring that up real quick and just pitch it right there. Keep on going, brother.
Okay. So we ended up seeing that. We ended up seeing the back compatibility, which was a major beat for this generation, including the upgrades, the resolution, frames per second boosts, features like quick resume, which, I don't use it all the time, but by God, it is there. And when I use it for stuff like Red Dead Redemption, I'm always happy I have it because I do not miss the days of 2 or 3 4-minute loading times. We also had programs like All Access where people could finance the consoles with no money cost up front and no interest on the consoles, which we had talked about last week is it actually is cheaper in the long run if you do that, get your Game Pass and the 2 years of Game Pass and your console through that service, which is awesome. Like another option for them to increase their user base. So with some of that said real quick, is All Access something that you would entertain, Sauer, if you didn't have a system right now? And do you think it was a good move by Microsoft to do that?
Oh, definitely. I had my money put away for the Xbox Series X. And then at that moment, when the consoles were about to release, I actually had to use my money for something else, unfortunately. So then when the consoles came out, I wanted to jump into the new generation, and I didn't have the money at the moment. So what I did, I tried to jump into the Xbox All Access to get my Series X. Fortunately, there I couldn't get a hold into none of them, but I got a hold into the Xbox Series S, and that's how I got my first Xbox Series S, which I actually own too. And I think this is a great program that you know helps a lot of people. Like even if you are a teenager and you can live. I mean, you can mow some lawn during the winter if you need to plow some snow. It's something you can pay. Like you can pay $25, $35 a month by doing these things. So I think it's something pretty easy, pretty accessible, like the name, and I think this is great, especially when it start reaching all like they're like smaller countries like Dominican Republic, you know, Colombia. Just to put a few example, there's a lot of other countries that can benefit about with this program.
Oh, 100%. I definitely think, I mean, like you said, the name suggests it and points out very clear that it is all access. Like
Yes.
it allows a broad range of people to get in there. But crazy. I want to jump over to you real quick and see what your thoughts are on it. So if you didn't have one right now, would you entertain the idea of doing the all access program? Do you think it was a good idea that Microsoft brought that out for people to utilize?
Oh man, to utilize, yeah. I'll be honest with you, it's a really good way to get people into the console, and literally, it's a way to say, oh, I'm gonna pay a couple bucks, monthly, and it's a pretty fun and fast way to get people to say, hey, it's only 30 bucks about this. I mean, it's not that much. 30, is it 30? I think it's 30, 35.
35 and 25, I believe.
35 and 25. So yeah, it's not that expensive, to be honest. And also you also have Game Pass into it, so it's a
Yeah.
pretty fun deal.
Which
And
quick note,
what's
it,
up?
if you would pay Game Pass for the 2 years, that because you get it for, it's a 2 year plan, a 2 year plan with
Agreed,
Game
man.
Pass Ultimate, you actually save some money.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, across the
So
board,
yeah,
it's like $50 or something is what you save, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's like
it's
the
nice.
fact
Yeah.
that you're not getting dinged with interest and stuff, and you're saving overall. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's killer. I don't think a lot of people realize that as much, because there probably would be a lot more people using it if they realized that, like at the end of the agreement, you are paying less.
Yeah. I feel they don't
No,
advertise that enough.
no, maybe in the future they'll get
Yeah.
more aggressive with it. I'd say especially as they get into more territories, kind of like what you were talking about.
Yes.
Maybe we'll see more of that, right? But yeah, so okay, well we're gonna jump real quick to another part of this whole thing, which is the fact that back in shopping season, back in 2018. So Phil Spencer had announced that they had purchased Undead Labs, they had Playground Games, Ninja Theory, Compulsion Games, and had formed the Initiative. So big get right there on its own. Like watching that show was insane when that all happened. It was shocking that they had taken an aggressive stance like that. But then in 2020, they blew us away again with purchasing ZeniMax Online, which includes, and Bethesda GameWorks, which includes your Arcane Studios, Bethesda Softworks, id Softworks, Machine Games, Tango, ZeniMax Online, AlphaDog, and Roundhouse Studios. So that was a massive purchase, and at that point in time, we're like, wow.
I thought it couldn't get bigger than that.
No, that was what? That was 7.2 billion.
I think it was
7.2, right?
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So that was a big one at the time. And it's like, all right, that's all they're ever gonna do. There's no way they're gonna go bigger. But then this year, we end up finding out that Microsoft has announced they've intended to purchase Activision Blizzard slash King, ABK. So Activision Blizzard King, which includes Activision Publishing, Blizzard Entertainment, Beanox, Demonware, Digital Legends, High Moon Studios, Infinity War, King, Major League Gaming, Radical Entertainment, Raven Software, Sledgehammer Games,
Oh,
and Toys for Bob and Treyarch.
Can,
the crystal
Which,
sour.
can I say it again?
holy,
Can I say it again?
go
What?
for it.
Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Phil Spencer is a gangster, man.
Oh man, I'm back again.
And I agree.
Remember when the Bethesda deal, when he was like, "Oh, don't worry, guys. We're gonna keep all the games in the PlayStation. You know, all the games that
Well,
are Bethesda. We're gonna keep them there." And then
yes,
after
it
the
was
purchase was
tactical.
done, yeah, he used very tactical
Yes,
words. And then after that,
yes.
he was done. This purchase was made because we wanted to give Xbox player exclusive content. We're gonna respect all the deals that were made, but after that, you know, we're gonna give our players exclusive. Which, if you look at the wordings for this purchase, it's kind of like the same. So who knows what he can do? I'm not saying all the games are gonna be exclusive, but some of the ones that people think are coming multiplat might not. I'm just saying. Phil
You know,
Spencer is a gangster, so
I still maintain just like what he did with Bethesda when we started hearing about stuff there. They're doing the same thing right now, and maybe nothing will come of it. But the way that they're phrasing it is very much tactical and tactile, just like what they did with Bethesda, which is anything existing that's already there will remain, and we will honor our license agreements. Well, when you say we'll honor our license agreements, that tells me something interesting in the fact that the Call of Duty license agreement ends in 2024, which makes me think that they could still pull some shenanigans. Now, still keep stuff like your war zones, keep stuff like that on
yeah.
PlayStation. But that does not necessarily mean that there's a world where you're seeing Call of Duty campaigns and stuff like that on PlayStation. Potentially. Now, who knows? Who
Yeah,
knows?
who
Because
knows?
they have suggested from everything we've heard so far that they do intend on keeping it on there. But again, the way the wording
Yeah,
is,
the wording is
it
not
just
clear.
always makes you wonder. There might be more to this story, and we'll find out more once they purchase, because that's when we'll start hearing the information flow free. So along with those, we ended up seeing a whole bunch of other power moves that started kicking in, right? Like they had partnerships with companies like Verizon, which we just found about recently.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Discord, which also very recent.
Yep.
GameStop, Riot Games, EA Games, and more.
Yeah.
So that gets us pretty up to date at this point in time. Of which I'm gonna ask a question to you guys real quick before we bounce to the big chatter on this one. But which purchase do you think has been the most important so far over the last what, I guess 6 years since they started really emphasizing the purchases?
Well, in form of results or of what they can bring.
I mean, okay. Let's say for you, you're gonna tell me what they can bring. Crazy's gonna tell me results.
Okay, what they can bring. I think from what they can bring, I think Obsidian is huge. The fact that they have a nice roadmap, and then every time you hear Obsidian, it's like they always got a new project going on, and you're like, how are they working on so many projects? And even this year, they already have 2 projects coming out, and they already had actually the Outer Worlds, which I guess it was part already of that wasn't part of the deal, so that's why it wasn't exclusive. So and they've been working on so many things. And I think it's a studio that has proven that they have a nice workflow and they can actually do it. So I think they have been doing a little bit of both. They have been giving results, but also the future. And of course, I wouldn't want to count Cinemac as one because that wouldn't even be fair because that's a little bit too big.
That's
Yeah.
a little, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
But-
cheating a little
Yeah,
bit.
that'll be cheating a little bit, but I'll pick Obsidian. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I love them so much.
We
What was
that's
that?
fair. Oh, sorry. So Crazy, we're gonna bounce over to you. What's your take? What do you think? What do you think in regards to this? Which one do you think is probably been the most important? As far as what we agreed on results for him?
Most important for I will go for ID software and below Bethesda segment. I mean, for me, that is pretty much the most important.
Do you, in regards to that, when I'm saying results, are you thinking like quality of product, like overall, like score or something? Is that what you're kind of going for?
Did he just said Bethesda?
The whole
He
Bethesda.
said-
I
That's
mean, the whole-
cheating. Come on,
Microsoft
pick
and
pick
then
one, you
Bethesda just-
cheater.
No,
Come
I
on.
chose. No, I.
That's
I
a
said-
whole
I said-
publisher.
he
That's
said-
not even a
I
studio.
said.
said
I
id.
said
He said
it's
id.
software.
Oh,
And then I
okay,
the whole
okay. Sorry,
Bethesda- the whole
sorry.
He
Bethesda
did.
thing, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It is actually one of my favorite companies because they make Doom and they make Wolfenstein, just like Boxenberger says it. So yeah, it for me is
he
the thing.
waffled. He waffled, Sour. He waffled a little
Yeah, I
bit
waffled, yeah.
because he
I
said
waffled.
id, but then
Yeah.
he said, but Bethesda
But,
Softworks.
yeah. It's just everything about it is really good. Everything. And for you love what's Sour just said it before. How come I keep forgetting the names? There's so many games mentioned today.
Obsidian, Playground Game.
You mentioned Obsidian. You love Obsidian. Obsidian is pretty cool. But for me, it is the man. Just because it has Doom. And Doom is my favorite game. That's for me.
Okay. So you went personal preference instead of
Yeah,
okay.
which, okay, whatever. I'm not
That's
gonna
fair.
discuss that. I'm not even gonna discuss.
That's
But no, because
fair.
because Sour, to be honest with you, if it wasn't for Doom, we wouldn't have all this stuff today. If it wasn't for Wolfenstein, we wouldn't have all these FPS today.
Well,
because they pretty much evolved
Wolfenstein
that.
is machine game. Remember?
Nope,
Just saying.
sir.
Yes, it is.
No, sir.
Yes, it is.
No, sir. It was created by id Software. You can look for it anywhere.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it was machine games.
Want to bet? This
Yeah.
Yes.
The new one was Machine Games, yes.
Yep. But it was
But the
id Software.
original was id.
Yeah, but we're talking
Okay.
about it game. We're talking about with Xbox because we're not talking about the past. That's
No,
what
no.
I'm thinking. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, speaking of first person shooters and stuff like that.
Yes,
like
sir.
Crazy brought up. We're gonna bounce over to our one of our last conversations in this whole thing, which is Sony shaking in their boots about the
Ooh.
Activision deal,
Yes, it is.
saying that it believes that Xbox owning Call of Duty could influence users' console choice. Good lord. Sony is shaking in their boots about the Activision deal. And this is according to an article by Video Games Chronicle. So, according to the company's official response to the questions that the Brazil's regulatory body, because they've been having to go through, this whole process requires them to go through it, and they have to talk through this. They have to present a case, essentially. And everyone gets to present a case as to why they think this is acceptable, why this is wrong, stuff like that. They look at a lot of stuff to make this decision. But in Brazil's regulatory body, they are more open about bringing these things out and letting you see the details as how the sausage is made, as it were. But yeah, so that's where we ended up finding out the fact that they they think that if Microsoft took it, it would be an unfair advantage, which to me, I don't know. I'm just going to throw this out there real quick, but I think it's laughable, and I think it's very deceptive of them to try and pull crap like this. Personally, like if you're going to try and cry wolf about this, when for years you've been sitting there on Call of Duty exclusivity, you've been throwing crap in their face all the time, taking the advertising rights, doing all these things. And then all of a sudden, because someone's sniping the company and going to take it away from you, now you're acting like the victim when you've been the big bully all this time for years? Give me a break. Go sit down in the corner and think about what you've done. Because personally, I think it's disgraceful the way that they've been approaching it. Now, I understand the reasoning as to why they do it. Because optics are everything in these situations. Well, they're not everything, but they're a lot of it, right? But still, it's a disgraceful approach to jump out there and be like, "Oh man, they're the big bad guys,"
Sir.
when you've done the exact same thing over and over and over again.
Over again.
And I would add one more thing before I bounce it over to you guys. I think it's really disingenuous for them to throw something like that out there right in front of a whole bunch of other companies. Yeah, Ubisoft, you had other companies that came out and were like, no. Like, Call of Duty's great, but we have good games as well. We have stuff that we use as competition. I feel like it was fairly dirty, the fact that Sony comes out and is like, nothing can compete with Call of Duty. When you have so many hardworking companies out there that bust their asses to make a good product, make big AAA games, and Sony just brushes it aside in a way, or in a means of trying to make their story sound good. I'm sorry, it's gross. It's gross. But Louis, what do you think of this whole debacle that's going on right now with this?
Oh man, you had to jump into me, huh, with that. What do I think about this whole thing? Hey man, it's easy. Back in 2014, back in the day when MS messed up with everything, they started picking on this little monster, right? And they picked on this little monster, and they picked on him, and they picked on him, and they picked on him. Okay, keep picking on it. Pick. And Microsoft just went little by little, just doing their things, and all of a sudden, it just blew up in their face. Like, whoa, what the hell happened? And hey, you guys kept this thing going on for years, and literally, me, on a personal note, if I was Sony, I would have never picked on that much. I would have been like Nintendo. I would have been on my side, like Nintendo has been, quiet, nice and easy, doing my thing. Instead of getting all these fanboys, and all this stuff. Hey, let's go ahead and let's march against MS and see that everything they do wrong and all this stuff. But damn, MS is kicking their butt. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
to come out crying like they did. And here's the thing, though. That person that went out and said that, I wouldn't have put it just like that, because he was saying, well, Call of Duty's out there on its own and stuff like that, but you guys got Bungie, and they are pretty much out on their own, and Bungie's doing pretty good. That's one thing. And also, I remember when Battle Royale came out, when PUBG came out, it literally made these guys shake in their boots. It literally made them shake in the boots and go do a Battle Royale right away. Call of Duty did a Battle Royale, when was it, a year later, 2 years later? After PUBG came out? So yeah, Battlefield 3 back in the day kicked its butt. Battlefield 3 was pretty good. And so, yeah, there's other great companies that make great games. But either way, though, you guys are scared. You guys push these guys to do this. And there's something that Phil Spencer said in 2020, or it was 2021. He literally said out of his mouth with confidence, he said, PlayStation for us is not competition. And I'll be honest, though, he meant it. He meant it, and he's 100% sure. Why? Because
Yes.
in money buys. PlayStation cannot compete with
There's
them
a
with
little more of
money.
that OG right there.
Yeah,
Told you
the
so.
OG gangster,
Told you
yeah,
so.
right there, the gangster, yeah. Like Salvador says, he's a gangster. He literally said it, and people are like, "Yeah, he's saying that, blah blah blah," and speaking like that. And I was like, "Nope, you guys can say all you want, but he actually means it because again, Microsoft is part of the trillion, what is it, trillion club, something like that, and Sony's not even close to that. They can't compete. Not even on the Game Pass or nothing like that. They can't compete. Because when you mentioned, what was it, Galaki, what was the company's name? Galaki?
Gaikai, is that what you're talking
Gaikai, yeah, Gaikai. I was like, Gaikai.
Yeah.
When you, when you mentioned
Oh,
Gaikai
wow.
and they went into that, it was a good move on Sony. But the thing is, Sony, do you have the money to rest on this? You know, because if you listen to the Netflix story, they didn't have the money and they went through a long process in order for Netflix to go out the way, to come out the way they came out. If you don't have that money, then okay, you bought it, pretty good move, but Microsoft has got the money to sit, to rest, and do whatever it wants, and they have shown you. Literally, they have the most powerful console, and they meant it. They have the best services, and seriously, why would you want to poke at that monster? And they did, and this is what you're gonna get. You can't complain about it. Say, hey, if they get this, it's gonna choose consoles. They can because they got the money. That's the truth. I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
You know, Louis, I'm glad that you ended up throwing Gaikai into that because that
Yeah.
actually brought up a question that I wanted to ask real quick. So, do you think with everything that they've been doing, so has Microsoft provided maybe the missing formula to Sony's failed attempt at capturing cloud gaming when they were doing Gaikai? Do you
Yeah.
think Microsoft has corrected that ship and found a better
Here's
solution?
here's the thing though. Cloud gaming has been going on for a while. The thing is that we just didn't take notice about it because, for example, GeForce Now, I think it's actually a little bit older. And I think when Sony saw that, I said, "Hey, let's jump into see what we can do." But the thing is, in order for you to get into cloud, like I said, you gotta have the money to leave it at rest. Because the first few years you're gonna be losing a lot of money, but once you reach to a certain point, you're gonna make your money back, and that is true. And yeah, and look, even our favorite insider here, Plume Network. So follow him. He's got a pretty good channel, pretty awesome stuff. He says, "Laugh out loud. Remember PS4 exclusive special ops for COD 2019," which that is something that I was gonna mention. Out of the top 50 games that Sony has from VG charts, 10 of them are only Activision Blizzard. Only 10 out of top 50 games. So when they were getting all this exclusive content, which those 10 games in there were helping those console sales, they actually were helping them to sell. Because literally, you had an Xbox, but the exclusive content that came for Sony, you had to wait a year. But after that year came by, there was a new Call of Duty right there. So it's like, why the heck am I going to play this? There's a new Call of Duty, so yeah, I'm going to ignore it. But since Microsoft bought these guys, they said, "Oh crap, we actually lost one of the companies that we paid exclusives, right, to help us sell us consoles." So seriously, it's gonna hit them hard. It's gonna hit them hard. It's gonna be hard. And the whole Galaiki thing, Gagaiki, Galeki, whatever, forgetting the name. Yeah,
Just butchered
but
it.
yeah, the whole Galaiki thing.
Um,
Yes, I mean Microsoft has got the money to do it. Like I said,
Yeah.
they don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like you said, it's definitely going to it's going to be a different world here in a little bit, right? Like when Microsoft finishes this acquisition, it's it's going to be like a scorched earth scenario for Sony in ways
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
you are going to see Call of Duty advertised all over the damn planet
yeah.
with that big old Xbox globe all over it all
And
the time everywhere. You're talking buses in London. It's going to be all over the football fields. It's going to be everywhere.
yeah,
Of which that does bring up a question that I want to pose to Sour Blow real fast. Do you think this is going to benefit them in the race to 3 billion? Do you think Which one do you think's going to end up making it first to the 3 billion mark?
Oh no, that's easy. Of course, it's gonna be Microsoft.
It's gonna be Nintendo,
Xbox. Well, if Nintendo had the infrastructure, who knows?
Yes.
But no.
If Nintendo had internet, that would help.
Oh Lord.
and Windows 10.
Oh Lord. And Windows 10.
They updated from 98 to Windows 2000, which is worse probably.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I think Xbox has the infrastructure.
Yeah.
I think they have the studios, which is what they needed. All they need, the missing piece, the missing puzzle, is, they need to have a roadmap where they kind of stick to a plan where like they said they want to have. That's their plan. They want to have a big release every quarter. Plus, of course, I'm assuming, hopefully, it stays like that. They also have third-party games constantly coming in. They have good indie titles like they've been having. And then, of course, all their games are not going to be AAA. I don't expect them all to be AAA. So they're going to have their AA games and their smaller games, which, it's going to be cool. They're going to be games for everyone. So yes, definitely, I think it's going to be Xbox.
Crazy. Real quick, I'm going to
sir.
land this on you as the last one for the night. So you better be ready.
Ooh.
I'm ready,
Better
man. I'm
have
ready.
something
I'm
good.
ready. All right.
Why do you think Nintendo is the best? No, just kidding. What does Microsoft have to do to make sure that they don't become complacent and lose their impact with cloud and mobile? I think. Well, hold on.
Okay.
Just real quick. I'm just going to say, we go back and forth. We've seen this over and over again over the last few generations that, 360 takes it, PS3 eats the dirt for a long time. Then Xbox One goes into it with a bunch of gusto and confidence, but they're selling stuff that we didn't necessarily want at that time. PlayStation comes out, eats their lunch, and now it's flipping again. What do they need to do so they don't become complacent, lose impact on not just that, but also the cloud and mobile?
Lose impact. Well, I'm going to tell you something. If they don't go back to what they did in 2014, they will lose impact, because remember the 360 era, they ended up in a really good note. Even though they had the Red Ring of Fire, was it the Red Ring of Fire?
Red Ring of Death. The
Red Ring of Death.
Yes.
I was like, why do I have Red Ring of Fire? Oh, that's
Too
how
soon.
Circus. Yeah,
It's too
okay.
soon.
Too soon. Okay. Yeah, but when they had the Red Ring of Death, I mean, even though they had that, they ended up on a good note. And if they don't go back to what they did in 2014, which actually what they were saying, it was actually the truth. I mean, the whole online shenanigans thing, everything came out to be true along the way. It was just the way it was marketed. And not only that, the pricing is something they gotta watch out, because if they go and raise prices like when they did with the Xbox Live, remember that whole shenanigan thing? I think it was 2021. They said, "Hey, we're gonna put the Xbox Live at $120 per year." Dear Lord, I mean, Twitter blew up that day. It was like, man, bazookas, tanks roll out. I mean, literally everything came in. Seriously, everybody was like, yeah, grab your pitchforks and fire and let's burn down Microsoft. I mean, they were mad. And literally 4 hours later, they came out and said, hey, chill. We'll leave it the way it was. No worries. We'll leave it the way it was. And yeah, I mean, they got to watch out for the pricing and work really hard on the marketing to get it on the go. Seriously, because again, like for example, these past few days we saw a new thing with Sony with the back is it Backbone one? Yeah, Backbone one.
Yeah,
it's called. And Sony's pretty good on the marketing thing, and they're showing that, for example, this Backbone one is coming. It looks like a DualSense controller and does all this cool stuff and yada yada yada. And so they're getting into cell phones, which already Microsoft has been already ahead of them. And if they make one slip, like they did on that 2021, that slip that came out, you know, that little slip. That was a pretty tough one when they mentioned the Xbox Live. I was like, why? When I heard that, I was like, why are you saying this right? If you guys are right on a good track, you guys are doing fantastic. Why do you come up with this stuff? And the good thing was that they heard the fans and they say, wait, we'll fix this. So the good thing is that right now they're listening to the people. And I remember one thing that and on an interview with Aaron Greenberg about the whole is it variable refresh rate on why they have it, and that is to save the person to charge them the $10 that other companies are charging. So they want to be fans first, and then they want to be company later. So that's a pretty good strategy they're using right now. And like I said, if they do a slip, people are gonna jump on it right away. Like for example, the exclusive thing is moving to next year. Okay, it happens. We get it. Third parties are doing it. Pretty much everybody's doing it. Moving things to next year. Awesome, fantastic. We get it. But I hope that next year they bring it because that Xbox has no games has to die soon. That's something that has to die soon. But yeah, for me, they're doing a pretty good job, and I hope they keep on doing. Just don't slip. Just keep it the way it is and keep on going. And also market. They need to market more. That's something they need to do for themselves.
You know what? I lied because Sour, you look very contemplative. So, sir,
Yeah.
I want to throw it back to you real quick. You look
Yeah.
like you have something to say.
Oh,
Okay.
I just want to end it in a quick analogy.
All right.
Okay, so this quick analogy is Phil Spencer. I don't know if you guys seen The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
So Phil Spencer, you can say he's Jordan Belfort, and Tony right now is the agent when the agent went to the boat to try to intimidate him, and Jordan Belfort just basically told him to get the heck out of his boat and just leave. That's right now. That's who Phil Spencer is. He's the real Wolf of Wall Street. He's the gangster. And I'll end it here and pass it to our captain, which he has our landing
All right.
announcement.
Right.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've arrived at our destination. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captain turns off this live stream. On behalf of Xbox International, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I leave you with our co-pilot, Crazy Louie, for the outros.
Oh man, it was such an amazing show. Lots of talking, lots of good stuff, and lots of cool information. It was a pretty fun flight for me. And I'm glad that we went through all that stuff just to tell people a little bit of the story of what's been going on before we jumped and why Sony's been shaking on their boots. And it's been one shaky boots week on their side. Well, let's start now with our outro. Sour blow to everybody where they can find you, brother.
Well, it's easy. You can find me Twitter, Xbox, and YouTube, SourBlow18. This Saturday, please stay tuned. I have a trailer coming out. It's focused on Japanese games. So, just hit that notification bell. And of course, you can find me here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. So, crazy, take it back.
All right, brother. Silent, can I ask you a question before I bounce into your outro real quick? I think we should start charging Sour Blow $5 every time he promotes that trailer. What do you think, though? You probably get rich, right?
Well,
you know what?
when Microsoft
all-
pays me, I'll
Yeah.
give you a small percentage.
All right, cool. That's awesome. Okay, we got a deal. I'm just messing with you, Sour. Pretty good. Hey, remember, guys, go over there and subscribe right now. It's at Sour18. Subscribe. That trailer's going to be pretty awesome. And I'll also be retweeting it this Saturday. Silent Cypher, tell everybody where they can find you, brother.
Well, real quick, I did want to say for Sour, I'm all for supporting indies.
Yep.
I'm indie. I'm pro indie. So, you go ahead and you wave that flag as much as you want. You make sure you advertise it everywhere. We'll
Yes, sir.
Well,
we'll get you views on that one for sure.
they're not only indies in that trailer. There are some big games there too.
No. But I
But-
mean, you are an indie.
Oh,
for
okay,
now.
yeah.
You're starting your career in these things, so we gotta lift you up and get you some support.
Yes, the Untitled
But,
Louis game.
Nope.
No.
But anyways, where you can find me each week, so you can find me on Xbox, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, PlayStation, Switch, wherever as Silent Cipher. You catch me on Fridays when we're doing our community game night with these awesome gentlemen right here, of which I don't know if we have a game scheduled for this week.
I think as of now, Naraka.
Oh, okay.
As of now,
N-
so we're gonna stay in
is-
Japan. Naraka,
Naraka.
Blade Point.
Point.
Isn't it Nebaraka?
No, Naraka.
No, that's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Baraka is.
But
Okay.
besides that, most importantly, you can find me every week on here at XBI Podcast on the Crazy Louie Gaming channel with these two beautiful bastards right here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we hang out, we chat with you guys for a little bit in the chat. We make funny, we have some fun talking about games,
Yes,
and
sir.
then we go to sleep because it's late.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And where can you find the crazy one? But before I go, hey chat, you guys have been awesome, man. You guys kept this chat rolling, and we've been having a lot of fun tonight. Watching all just run by through and asking questions. You guys rock. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys are awesome. So, where can you find the crazy one? Easy. You can find me on Twitter as Crazy Louie Gaming, where I do a bunch of stuff. And pretty soon, I'll learn to do backflips because since Pablo told me I need to learn how to do backflips for demonstration, so I'll learn to do backflips. So yeah, you can follow me at Crazy Louie Gaming Twitter. Also, every single Wednesday here with my brother Silent Cipher and Sour Blow at the Crazy Louie Gaming YouTube channel, Xbox International at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and 4 p.m. Pacific Time. So, yeah, you guys, as I always say, remember. Let's go, let's rock, and let's get crazy. Yes, see y'all next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
See it. Hold on. The intro got caught. Hold on. The outro. Sorry.
Oh! What you got?
Thank you for listening to the XBI Podcast. Please make sure to like and subscribe on the way out. We'll see you next time.